The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is Cowboys StoryLine with Nick Eatman.
What is up? Good morning. It's Monday, August the 5th. It's time for another Cowboys Storyline. I'm Nick Eatman here at Oxnard, California. Wouldn't be a show if we didn't have our guys back here doing their work. It was really quiet and peaceful like 10 minutes ago. And I said to Chris, well, what's going on? He's like, they're waiting for you to start. Now that we're started, now we're mowing and blowing and going here. Let's go here. I don't have the phone number here. I got the new number. I got the other one remembered by heart. But hopefully, you guys are knowing it now. There we go. 214-387-1659. That's right. 387-1659 is the number to call here on Cowboys Storyline. Already got a couple of callers on the line. We talked about a couple of practices that we saw all over since we've talked last on Thursday was the show, I believe. And we had a good blue-white scrimmage-ish type practice on Saturday. It's really more of a practice. But it was good just to see the physicality of the team and the energy that's brought there. I thought for sure it was Micah Parsons' best practice. He was really tough to block again. The Cowboys were down to their third left tackle. Tyler Guyton has been out. Just sick, and then Chuma Edoga did not practice at all. But so Awesome Richards was the guy there, Terrence Steele on the other side, but Micah Parsons was doing Micah Parsons things and got the crowd in it, and was body slamming Trayvon Diggs to the ground, which is probably not good for a guy coming back from an ACL. But it was playful and it was fun, and it was a good practice here at Oxnard. All right. Let's go to the phone lines. Let's get it started like he always does. Michael in Colton, California is batting leadoff. What's up?
What's going on, Mr. Eatman, and good morning, and I know you're good. I know you're great. You work for the greatest organization in professional sports, so you got to be good. Shout out to you and Mr. Bean back there. Hey, Nick, okay, so last time I called, I was talking to you about the defense and how, I think if we can get that together, we can really go deep in the playoffs, right? And then I hung up and I was listening, and I was like, oh, I wish I would have stayed on the line, because then you said, well, Dak Prescott says we got to take it one game at a time, this and that. And I just want to say, I got a couple of points if you don't mind, but I just want to say I think all that one game at a time and this and that is out the window. I believe it's year 9 for Dak Prescott, and we're beyond that. Look, his possible career with the Cowboys is in jeopardy here because he doesn't even have a contract, and I believe that's due to the fact that you're starting to see Stephen Jones' his tactics take over as far as management, and I think he's more like he wants to see results. I'm not trying to hear, when I say I mean Stephen. I believe that he's more like, I'm not trying to hear oh, you guys did great during the regular season, because if the regular season had a championship, then hey, where's my shirt? You know what I mean? I would be rocking that shirt, Mr. Eatman. And I just think that, that's what it's all about at this point in his career. I mean, I think nobody could take that, from Dak. He's a great preseason quarterback. He puts up numbers. He's exciting to watch, all this and that, but it's the playoffs where it matters, And another thing, I really hope we can get that run game together. And that would be pretty awesome to see, if they made some kind of move to bring in some kind of, running back.
Hey, Michael, let me cut you off on the running back stuff, because I'm going to ask you.
Yes, sir.
So you're saying don't sign Dak, is what you're saying? Not like right now. You're saying just wait till February, see what happens, sign him then?
No, sir. I don't. I think they should lock him up. And I know that may sound hypocritical, because I've been on the other side saying, I don't know if he can get it done in the playoffs. But I think it would just be stupid to just flat out let him walk, because he is a good quarterback. I'm not disputing that, and I think that would be the smart business move to make. But what I'm saying is, I believe that Stephen Jones is more like taking the position where he's kind of running things and has a heavy influence on what's going on. And to me, that's what it's looking like. I could be wrong. I don't speak for the man.
Yeah,
that's what it's kind of looking like to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think what it looks like is these other quarterbacks are signing, and it's just like it's going to be his turn. And I don't think it matters what happens in the playoffs and stuff like that. As far as the contract, as far as he will get paid fairly. I think you're seeing what Tua got, what Trevor Lawrence got, and he'll fall in line with that as well. And so, I don't think it's going to come down to playoff success or not. I know for a fan, like yourself.
Yeah, but why?
Why would it? I mean, because the decisions aren't made then. The decisions aren't made. The decisions are made right now, and there's a lot that's played into it.
But let me ask you something, Nick, if you don't mind. Okay, you said why would it? So are you happy with going 12-4 every year, 12-5, and then getting eliminated in the playoffs? Don't you want champion? I mean, look at the Giants. They went on runs. They were a wild card. I remember the year when Eli Manning took them and they beat the undefeated Patriots. That was awesome, man, because in midseason it didn't even look like they were going to make the playoffs. But when it mattered, they went on that run, and that was awesome. And at the end of the day, screw the Giants, please excuse me. But, I mean, stuff like that. I'm trying to see my Cowboys win a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like regular season don't matter to me. It does, but it's like, come on, let's win some Super Bowls here,
Okay, appreciate that. I couldn't disagree with you more, honestly, on that. I mean, I agree with you on the Super Bowl part. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. But, respectfully, why are you calling on August the 5th? If the regular season doesn't matter, why are we calling? Why are we doing this? Why are we getting up early? It's 8 o'clock your time. It's 8 o'clock here. Why are we doing this? I mean, it's football season. You just said you're excited, all this stuff. It's a new year. That's what we do. That's the cycle of being a football fan, a Cowboys fan, is that this is the time for hope. And to say that the regular season doesn't matter, that's ridiculous. Nobody in the world has ever won the Super Bowl with a crappy regular season. It has not happened. It's never happened. You've got to get here. You've got to take the steps. Don't sit here and say one game at a time, whatever. If that's the case, are you done Christmas shopping? Are you done with everything? Have you figured out Thanksgiving? Have you done everything? Because that's what it sounds like to you. You're fast forwarding way ahead to everything. It's training camp. Training camp practice here, a Saturday practice. Let's talk about it. I feel sorry for the fans that say I can't. The regular season doesn't matter. It matters. It matters, or you're not going to get there. So you've got to get there, and that just it makes no sense to me. It's just kind of frustrating because I know you guys know that. You know that. You can't say nothing matters but the playoffs, because you keep thinking like that and they won't make it. 2007, 2008. Just think about that. I mean, 2007, great season. They got eliminated, and then next year, 2008, they didn't even make the playoffs. They were thinking so much about what they were going to do there that they didn't make it. You can't focus like that. So, I'm sorry. I mean, everybody's got their own opinion, but that one to me just seems weird because this is the time where they've got to get this thing turned around, and you can't be talking about playoffs and if they don't fix a lot of things that they've got going on here. This is going to be a tough grind to get there. I think the expectations need to be lowered a little bit. All right, Brian in Kansas City's next.
Good morning, sir.
Hey, Brian.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
All right. I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Still on summer break, so enjoying that. Beamer says your kids, the kids in Texas, go back to school next week, so yep. I got 2 weeks still.
All righty. What's up?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to stay away from the contract talk because there's nothing I can do about it. But in listening and watching the various shows and some of the reporters that go out there and spend time out there, I have to say I'm really happy with what I've heard and seen. Some of them will post videos for us and stuff from a bunch of the different teams on the groups within the team, with the defensive backs, the linebackers, the wide receivers, knowing that CD's not there, but there's a ton of other people stepping up. The tight end room seems really deep. So I've got, and I say only, and the running back room, I've gotten to the point now in listening to an awful lot of people who say they've watched the the defensive tackles, and two of them who said they've watched and listened to them being coached have said, and these are guys who are, this is what they prefer. I think maybe the third best defensive tackle on the team, or one tech on the team. And so I've gotten to the point where I think maybe the one tech that we're going to go into the season with is not on the team right now. It's just a thought. And then for my my old timer, if you have a story, this is a little before your time, but maybe he's hung around the organization in some way. I was watching the old 90. What was that? That would have been January 94. The game, the Emmett game, where they go. They're playing the Giants in the Meadowlands for first place.
Yeah.
I was watching that, and just a player I had totally forgotten about, his backup, who had to go into the game a bunch of times when he was coming out to take a breather, Lincoln Coleman, if you happen to have a story about him.
Okay.
And I'll hang up and listen, brother.
All right. Thanks, Brian. Defensive tackle, I mean, I hope the one technique is here. I mean, because that's not a great position to just kind of throw in. There's been a lot of talk about them going to sign someone. I know Linval Joseph is out there, and there's been some discussions there. He's got the ties to Mike Zimmer, so that could be the case. But if they decide if he wants to play football, but I still think that it looks like it's going to be Osa and Mozzie as your defensive tackles, and that's the way it's shaping up right now. If they bring in some veteran help in there, that'd be great, and it'll still be a rotation for them. But I think Mozzie's looked pretty good from what we've seen. He's still a little bit inconsistent there. He just needs to play more, and it's tough to do that right now. They're not giving a lot of reps for the defensive tackles, for the O-line, D-line. And he flashes. He has his moments. He's gonna get every opportunity to play as much as possible. I don't have a Lincoln Coleman story really. I don't. I mean, he was kind of flash in the pan there a little bit. Played some in that Thanksgiving Day game with the snow, but that's about it that I heard from Lincoln Coleman. He didn't do a lot. He was a big bruising running back, but when you're backing up Emmett, you're not getting a lot of reps. All right, let's try Rick in Massachusetts. See how he's doing. All right, Rick. 0 for 3. All right, let's move on. Let's go to Dylan. Is he ready? Dylan in Northport, Florida.
Hey, I'm here. How's it going?
Hey, Dylan. How you doing?
All right. We got a little bit of a hurricane going on down here, but everything's all good. I hope there's no tree spitting on you today.
Hope everyone's okay over there.
Yeah, no, all good here. All good. We're on the back end of it. It's no big deal, just some lightning and stuff. No big. I was looking at the schedule, man, and the first caller there talking about the, kind of not really wanting to get on the ride until the playoffs start. I'm 30, how old am I? 32. I'll be 33 tomorrow, and I haven't seen a Super Bowl. Like, I don't know anything else other than just the ride, and it's funny seeing the pattern every year where it's like we get disappointed come playoff time. It's just my whole life has been that way, and it sucks. And then we get sucked back in the draft, and then we get sucked back in even more in training camp. And then by the time week one starts, and everybody's pumped, and the same people that kind of complain about, well, let's just wait for the postseason. A lot of us don't get why you're even watching it. I don't get why you're posting on Twitter. Don't get why you're calling in. And I'm not trying to tell anybody how to be a fan, because everybody can be a fan the way they want to be a fan. But I think the enjoyment and part of being a fan is just being on a ride, man, and just going along with it. So it's just, I wasn't going to call in today, but I just felt like I don't want to say it irked me a little bit, but it kind of got me going a little bit. And I'm grateful that the Cowboys are here. I'm grateful I get to enjoy at least 16, 17 games a year, and I'm grateful that we're a competitor every year and we get to the postseason. And just hope for the best, and maybe one of these years it'll all click together.
Right. But yeah, you're right. And the first caller asked that. Are you okay with being 12-5 and getting knocked out of the playoffs? No one's okay getting knocked out of the playoffs, but I'm okay with 12-5. I mean, you gotta get to the dance. I mean, you have to. So that's the one thing that it's funny, and I get people that will argue with me, just casual fans that you're like, I said last year was a good season there for a little bit, and people don't think that it is, and so everybody's got their opinion, but my
Well,
expectations
it's
aren't the
not
same.
easy.
No, it's
Go
not
look at
easy
some
to
of
get.
the greatest quarterbacks. Go look at some of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Like, okay, current one, Aaron Rodgers. He's one of the goats, right? Dude's got 1 Super Bowl ring. Like, these guys, you just gotta stay competitive every year. Every year, stay competitive, and eventually, hopefully, it'll click together for you, and maybe you'll get 1 Super Bowl from a great quarterback. I mean, it's just, and it's
Yeah,
the same for a lot of quarterbacks throughout history and a lot of teams throughout history. It's part of it, man.
yeah.
So. Hey, real quick, we have a Spaces this Saturday, in case I don't call it back again this week on the StoryLine Twitter. This Saturday at 8 Eastern, if you and Chris want to join up, and for anybody else out there listening.
Saturday at 8. I think we'll be
Eastern,
going
yep.
to. No, we'll be going to L.A. on Sunday, so that's 5 o'clock. Yeah,
So, yeah,
maybe. I
I
mean,
guess it
5
depends your
p.m.
bedtime, right?
5 p.m. on a Saturday. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I don't mind joining that. Chris will probably not be able to do that because he'll be going to. He'll probably be at the stadium at SoFi or whatever, getting that all figured out. Yeah, the Chargers are playing on Saturday at SoFi, and they're being
Your
so
favorite team.
helpful with the Cowboys getting in there, and we have a game with the Rams, but really really helpful for the other teams. Sorry, if you know, you know. Okay, Dylan, what else you got?
That's it, man. Thanks. I appreciate it. Have a
Hey,
good one.
appreciate it. Thanks for all you do for and what he's talking about with Spaces there and Twitter is the community of Cowboys storyliners. Trying to grow that up, and they're having I guess it's a get together type. I don't even know how you even phrase it there with Twitter Spaces, but yeah, you can get on. It's basically like a conference call, and then you're talking to certain people, and yeah, I'm gonna try to get on there on Saturday afternoon, and chat with you guys. It's kind of wheels off over there, and I've listened for a little bit, then I joined. It was kind of fun. So, all right, and happy birthday tomorrow. I think if that's what you heard, I hear the mowers. I hear like 50% of the conversation, but I thought I heard a birthday. All right, Bob in Rio Grande Valley, what's up?
Hey Nick, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'll tell you what, I'm very, very optimistic. I've been following what's going on at campus from distance down here in the valley, and basing my opinions upon some of the shows that I've seen that are showing the padded practices and what's going on. The thing I'm most optimistic about, or I should say the reason why I'm very optimistic about this coming season, is because of the depth that we have in all the rooms. It seems to me that we've drafted the last few years and have put ourselves in a position of being very well-rounded, even covering an unexpected injury like we had to Sam Williams. I think this Keeneland's going to step in and do the job. You've seen the padded practices out there live and firsthand. What's your impression of what we've got so far this year?
Okay. All right, Bob. I appreciate the call. I'll answer that. Before I go to break here, there's depth at some positions, and there's other ones that I think are still kind of up for debate. Anytime you have positions that are open for competition, that's going to test the depth somewhat. Running back's the one position that I'm kind of a little bit worried about. Not sure how that's all going to play out. But what I do like is I like the offensive line depth that I see. We'll see that in the game if that's really the case. But it's hard to function your offense if you're not having anybody that can block. And you've got some second, third, fourth year guys as backups that should be able to kind of help with that O line. So I like that part. The receivers are kind of showing their depth right now. I think the tight ends have a lot of depth as well. He flipped to defense. Linebacker looks to be a lot better than it was. Defensive end was tough with Sam Williams, but overall, cornerback depth is kind of iffy just because you're not seeing Trayvon out there. But overall, I agree with you. I still think there's a lot of good football players on the team, but we'll find out. Preseason game is really where you see where your depth is, because most of your starters are just wiped off the front. They're not even going to play. Then you see second, third, fourth teamers as the game goes on, and you have to compare it with the Rams' depth and what that looks like. So either way, it'll be fun to see. I think these will be the most entertaining preseason games that I can remember in a while. New kickoff rules. You're a quarterback you want to see a lot with Trey Lance. So we'll see. All right, we're taking a break here. One more call. We're going to go take a call before we take a break. Jose in Houston.
How you doing, sir, Mr. Nick?
I'm good. What's up, bud?
Hey, man, how's the weather over there in Cali treating you, bro?
Well, long sleeves, a little cool
man.
this morning.
Sounds.
Yeah, I won't say I've seen my breath, but
Okay.
it's chilly, and I know I would imagine you in Houston probably not the same.
Yeah, man, it's you know what it is. That's why y'all leave Texas to go practice over there.
Hey,
it's golden over there.
Jose, hey, do you know what Dak says before every snap?
Here we go.
Here we go. There we go. First time
sir.
caller. So that's the best I can do. It's the best I can do is give you the
man.
drop from out here. What's up, man?
Oh, man, that's lovely. Hey, bro, I got a question, man. You know how Trey Lance cost us the 4th rounder, and
Yeah.
I'm just curious, man. I mean, I'm thinking that 4th rounder we might have picked up a running back, help us out, because I'm not saying I love Zeke, I love me some Zeke, man, but how's he looking out there? How's Zeke looking out there? I imagine he's going to be the starter.
Yeah, he's probably going to be the starter. I would imagine, and he looks, like a older Zeke. I mean, it's what he does is not going to be flashy as much anymore, and that's why I still feel like they've got to get a little juice somewhere. And I don't know if Rico's the guy to do that. I don't know what if there's a running back on another team, but I still just don't feel like it's completed here. I don't, and Zeke he does the dirty work stuff, so you're not going to see that out here. That's why he's not looking amazing or anything like that. But most backs don't. Honestly, most backs don't look amazing out in practice. I mean, what makes you a great back is the fact that you can take contact and still go 4, 5, 6 yards. Out here, as soon as they get close and the guy touches them, it's like, okay, you're down. When we all know that the big running backs, especially the backs like Zeke, still got 3 to 4 or 5 yards after that, and that's what makes a good back. And that's the stuff you just don't see out here.
Yeah, that's true. That when the pass come on, and I imagine he's not going to get a lot of playing time in the preseason, so we won't know until that first ready to go. And the second part of the question, Mr. Nick. So like as far as I said, I think we would have picked up a running back with that 4th pick. I know maybe I might be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. That guy from Michigan, Blake Corum or something like that. Wasn't he around there on the 4th pick that we gave up for Lance?
Yeah, maybe.
I think maybe he would have fit in. Yeah. So I'm just saying, Trey Lance, how's he looking out there? I'm going to be watching him this preseason, but hopefully we get a return on that 4th pick, that 4th rounder, but we'll see.
Yeah. You never know. You could have gotten thanks for the call, Jose. You could have gotten a running back. You could have gotten a Jake Ferguson. He was in the 4th round. You could have got Junior Fajoko. He was in the 4th round. You could have got Charles Tapper. Just saying, 4th round, you never know what you're going to get there. And you could have got Dak Prescott. I mean, so I would. You can't worry about that. You can't. The Cowboys that thought that they were going to get a guy that they could get some value for, and it's not over yet. But let's see what happens when the game comes on, because I promise you, 2016. I don't know if we were saying the same about Dak, but he wasn't having the greatest practices. Not a great comparison because this is Lance's 4th season, but still, it doesn't look great out here all the time. But I think he'll play well in the games. But I want to see him make these throws. It's the throws. He's going to run around and probably make some plays with his legs. I want to see what he does with the throws. Let's take a break here on Cowboys Storyline. We'll be right back.
Are you the 2024 Dallas Cowboys Fan of the Year? The Dallas Cowboys and Captain Morgan are celebrating extraordinary, inspiring, and original fans. Nominate yourself or the biggest Cowboys fan you know for a chance to be named the 2024 Fan of the Year and win prizes, including a trip to Super Bowl 59. Visit DallasCowboys.com/Fan of the Year. Go Cowboys!
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
Back to Cowboys Storylines.
All right, welcome back to Cowboys Storyline. I think we're back. I got the point from Chris. I don't hear anything. I just see thumbs up. We're good to go. All right, let's get it rolling here. We've had 5 callers so far. We tried to get 6. I don't know what's going on with my man Rick in Massachusetts. He's trying to call. Hasn't been working out for him. Hopefully he can get a new line, or if that's the problem. All right. Let's get moving to another caller. We got Matt in De Leon, Texas.
Hey, Nick, how you doing, man?
Hey, man, how are you? Is this first time call?
Yes, first time caller.
Here we go.
Yes, thank you for that one. So my question well, first off, I'm really excited about the season. Glad for the coverage. Appreciate what y'all do and every organization that puts time into giving us content. But my question is kind of a process thing, I guess. I know Gilmore, he's not on the team as of yet, but last year he ended the season with an injury. And so my question was, like, how does it work when a player's, like, not with the organization anymore? They get injured. Like, what determines, like, who does the surgery? You know, is it like a player organization conversation? And then, like, how is rehab determined and everything like that? And that's all I had. Appreciate it, man.
Well, thanks for the call, Matt. That is a good question. And it kind of depends on, like, your contract situation affects what happens there. Like, for instance, like Sam Williams, you know, he's under contract. He's gonna have you gotta have surgery on his ACL, MCL, and you know he'll be rehabbing on all year long, stuff like that. And guys that were here, you know, they got hurt. For Gilmore, he had a shoulder surgery. Now, of course, it happened when, you know, he was playing for the Cowboys, but he was a free agent. He did not rehab here. He definitely had, you know, he had surgery after the season, but his rehab was not with the Cowboys, and so it wasn't something that they, you know, monitored all the time. Didn't come in and necessarily and do that. So that's what teams are kind of waiting for. They're you know, wanted to see, you know, how the shoulder checks out. He'll have to pass the physical if he does sign. You know, for him, I think he's 35 years old, and he had a good season. I mean, we know that, and he was important because when he got hurt, it did change some things with the Cowboys and how they had to play that game against the Packers. That injury really was affecting the team, and I thought he did a nice job of holding it down. Him and Bland both, not just, you know, but I still think he was probably your best corner. And even though Bland did what he did, I still think he was the best corner throughout the year. But to answer your question about the surgery and injury, like that particular shoulder surgery, he was a free agent. He did that. He rehabbed it. It's at another place, probably, you know, closer to where he resides in the hometown. All right. Let's go to Lewis in Langston, Oklahoma.
What's going on?
Not much. How you doing?
Not bad. Out at work with this heat. That's all. There's always the heat.
Yep, for sure. Always, man.
You probably got on like a long sleeve or a hoodie right now. Don't do me like that.
Yep. Long sleeve, not a hoodie, but hey man, it gets to like 80 in the hot summertime here at like 2 or 3 o'clock. So these sleeves. What happens is I gotta take this sleeve, I gotta roll it up, and then it's bunchy right here. You know what I mean? With the guns are.
Right.
So it's just we got problems here. It gets cool.
So you break a little bit of a sweat. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, a little, I mean, you got to make that decision, or like at noon. Do you take the pullover? Do you tie it around your waist like it's 1988? Do you do that, or do you just leave it over here? I mean, we got problems here.
Yeah.
I can only hear half the show. It sounds like the mower's right behind me, but he's not. He's coming over here. Claiborne, come over here.
You sound so concerned about it. It just sounds so heartbreaking.
Honestly, like it is so much louder in my headphones than it is anywhere else.
Right,
it's pretty loud everywhere.
I can barely hear it.
All right, let's stop talking about it then. It's just like the playoffs. Let's stop talking about it. Let's stop talking about the mower. Can't do nothing about that. Can't do nothing about this guy. Can't do nothing about contracts. So let's talk about something.
No. I just was calling, I didn't get to really watch the whole blue and white scrimmage, I guess if that's what you want to call it, a glorified practice. And I seen a couple throws from Trey Lance. He looked like he was is he becoming like we did with Dak his rookie year? Is he more of a gamer than he is like a practicer?
We will see. We will see. But again, this is his 4th year.
Right.
I mean, Romo sat for 3 years. He played his 4th year, and by Dak's 4th year, he'd started 70 games. So, little different scenario there. I mean, you should expect more. 3rd overall pick, and I like the guy. He's a super super nice guy. I mean, I really like him. I love his attitude, but he's not better than Cooper Rush. He's not.
Oh, okay.
You watch him throw the ball. He is not better than Cooper Rush. And can he run faster? Sure. Can he lead the offense better? He might. But he's not. Yeah. That's the thing. Like he doesn't drop it in the bucket like Cooper Rush does. And I don't even know if you could say Dak does it as far as like certain throws, deep throws and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Cooper's got his thing.
Right.
It's gonna be hard for him to beat him out, but he's gonna get a lot of opportunities in the preseason.
Yeah. Okay. And I'll get off the phone and let you answer this one. When the preseason game starts, who do you think the starting 5 offensive linemen is going to be? Well, I would take that back because I know Zach Martin's not going to probably play none in the preseason.
No.
So outside of Zach Martin and maybe Tyler Smith, who would you say the starting 5 was going to be starting those first couple preseason games? And like I said, I'll talk to you later, but I'll listen and let you have it.
All right. Appreciate it.
Later.
That's a really good question, and there's a lot of ways to go with that. I wouldn't be surprised if Steele doesn't play either. I mean, why? I mean, if you're not going to play Zach Martin, I don't know if Terrence Steele needs the reps either. Hoffman, he needs reps. I'd like to see him, but I don't know if he will. I mean, It wouldn't shock me if he didn't play. It wouldn't shock me if he did. He's one of those tweener guys on as far as starting. Guyton at left tackle, probably TJ Bass, Hoffman, Awesome Richards was playing at tackle. I'm probably missing another guard here. Can't hear myself. All right, let's keep moving here. We trying this again. Rick in Massachusetts, are you there? Okay. All right. Betty had an awesome question.
Rick.
You
there?
Probably about the Red Sox, maybe.
Rick.
All right.
Hello.
That's Rick's last call into the Cowboys. Rob in Vegas. Can we go with Rob?
Hoffman.
Rob.
Hey, Nick.
How you doing, Rob?
I'm good. How are you?
What's up? What's up, man?
You know that call that I was talking about, the regular season and stuff. I said I look at the regular season as like the main course, and the playoffs is dessert. You know, I enjoy every weekend. You know, I look forward to it. And you said it best. If you suck during the regular season, you ain't seeing the playoffs.
Yep.
And Dak, for what everybody says about Dak, you know.
You're saying if you don't eat your food, it's like your parent. If you don't eat your food, you can't get dessert?
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, if somebody could tell me who we could replace Dak with that makes us better, I'm all for it. There's nobody. And the way the team is constructed with a lot of young guys in their prime, and Dak is probably one of them, just roll with it. You know, pay the man. I'm wondering if that's why they haven't paid CD yet, because they're trying to get Dak done first, because
I think so.
The CD thing you would think would be the easiest. You know, you basically look at the Jefferson contract and match it.
Yeah.
And I don't know how CD Lamb would say no to that. I'm wondering if they would franchise CD Lamb. I mean, I don't know how much that would be. I bet you that'd be around, what, $27 million, I think.
Yeah, that number is probably out, and I haven't necessarily seen that. That's going to be dicey. If this fifth year you talk about a guy that's holding out most of camp here, you know, putting him on the franchise tag, that's not going to be, I don't think, good business with the team. Could they do it? Sure, but I don't think that's the right thing to do, and I don't think anybody wants to head down that road. So.
Oh no, it's definitely.
But it's
definitely
possible.
Not the right
it's
thing
possible, and it's something that they probably use leverage-wise to say this is what they could do.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the deal would be done by now. We probably all did, but I think after the first preseason game,
yeah,
I one of these guys has to get done, and I think that, you know, probably should be the first.
Yeah, I think you're right. Go ahead.
On Tyler Guyton, what has he got to, you know, because he looked great, and now all of a sudden, unfortunately, he's missing some time. What's the issue with him?
He's sick. He was sick.
Is he going to practice today?
Probably.
We don't know.
I mean, I don't think it was a major illness or anything like that. So I think he's you know, this is the time of year. It doesn't take much to keep guys out. You know, if you're sick, you're out. If your back tightens up like Eric Kendricks, you're out for a little bit. I mean, it's just not the time to push it. And it doesn't matter who you are on the roster. It's just there's too much at stake not to, you know, to keep these guys healthy. So yeah, that's pretty much where they are. So
what did you think of that kickoff rule in that preseason game?
I only saw a little bit of it. Hall of Fame games are not fun to watch, whether or not you're sitting in Canton or you're not. So I just didn't watch it. It was 5 o'clock out here too, so I missed it. I saw some of the highlights. It's going to look weird. It's just going to be weird. But it didn't seem like it changed a whole lot. But then this is not the time to see that. It's still going to be very vanilla for what I think we're gonna see, and it's gonna be fun. I'm for it, and at least for this year. Let's just see what happens. But I'm for it. It's definitely gonna be a unique play. So, all right, Rob.
I gotta tell you, that was one of the best preseason games I've ever seen.
I didn't see it, but I'm sure football. It means football's back though, for sure.
Right. Here we go.
All right, Rob. Here we go. All right, we're going to take a break. Before we do, I just want to remind everybody about Cowboys United, presented by Globe Life. Now it's exclusively on the Cowboys app. Join the official fan club to receive access to all the new Cowboy Drops features, team news, pre-sale access, and a lot more. Download the app to join now. Be right back here on Cowboy Storyline.
Are you the 2024 Dallas Cowboys Fan of the Year? The Dallas Cowboys and Captain Morgan are celebrating extraordinary, inspiring, and original fans. Nominate yourself or the biggest Cowboys fan you know for a chance to be named the 2024 Fan of the Year and win prizes, including a trip to Super Bowl 59. Visit DallasCowboys.com/Fan of the Year. Go Cowboys!
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
Back to Cowboys storylines.
All right, welcome back here to Cowboys Storyline, here at Cowboys Training Camp. I'll remind you about the Training Camp magazine. The Training Camp preview for the 2024 season is now available. This year's edition features scout reports, position analysis, schedule poster, articles from your favorite Cowboy writers. Get your Training Camp preview today at your local pro shop or go to dallascowboys.com/star. All right, let's get going here. We got another caller on the line, Josh in Chicago. Josh, what's up, man?
Hey, Nick, how you been?
I'm good. What's up?
Good. Yeah, I've been. Today must be my lucky day. I've been trying to call in the past couple of weeks. I called once, tuned in a little bit late, called once, and got right in. So must be a lucky day.
You figured it out. I mean, once right after the callers, boom, you called. That's what it's.
Yep,
open.
exactly.
You hit it. How are you?
So I just have a point to make really quick, and then I got a question for you. But the point I just want to make, I'm a criminal defense attorney. I'm not a contracts guy, and I know a lot of people are upset about the contracts. I know you talked about it last Tuesday, but I think people need to remember that these aren't just, term of years, 3 years for X amount of dollars type of contracts. These are, almost a business between a business type of contract with these players. When you start talking about guaranteed money with options, with different clauses like no trade clause or no franchise tag clause, these things can take time. They can become complicated. So I think people just need to take a breath with these contracts, especially for CD and Dak. Dak's still here, right? He's still playing. He's still on a contract, and hopefully CD gets done soon.
I'm with you on that, and I think that's a very pro-team stance. But I'll say this: CD not being here is hurting the team. And I think it sounded like he was pretty clear about it. I just think, you said, yeah, it takes time. It does take time, and April, May, June, and July is a lot of time. And so my thought is that they seem to be at a standstill right now about they're just not budging. Yes, they can negotiate, but there's got to be just a hiccup of what the Cowboys were wanting and what CD wanted. And somebody's going to have to give in here. And that's where it seems to be, because every day he's not here, I do think it hurts the team and it hurts him and it hurts the offense. So you'd like to think that they had the time to prevent this from happening, and so now it's going to have to come down to somebody's going to have to budge on this. And I don't know who's going to blink. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, I guess it depends on whether he really wants to just get out of the team, or also what happens with some of the other receivers that might step up in his absence. But
yeah,
I don't think you can really replace somebody who's not top 3 in their entire position, right?
Right. Well, something's gonna give here this year, this week, because if you look at it, it's a $1 million fine for CD to miss the Rams game,
Yep.
even though he's not going to play. Now the Cowboys could always waive the fines afterwards, but they don't have to. And so these $40,000 a day fines is one thing, but he could be missing $1 million.
It goes up, yeah.
And so and then that's something the Cowboys could say, well, we're not going to do that. And so now you're going to be fined $1 million. That might change things. Who knows? I hope it does. I'd like to see him here.
Yeah, same. The question I have, I've heard a lot about Tyler Guyton and how he looks, but I was wondering, I haven't heard much about guys like Nathan Thomas or Josh Ball or Will Etzko or Austin Richards, or how they might look in one-on-ones. I was wondering if you have any insights, and I'll take the rest of it off the air to clear up the phone lines.
Thanks for the call. From what I saw, just in practice the other day, it was one-on-one drills, and right before the team drills, and it's a good with pads on. It's a one-on-one's always good to watch. I saw at guard, I saw some pretty decent things from Josh Ball. And he's another guy that, a fourth-year guy, when they get into the, preseason games, he's going to get some playing time, and, he'll be playing against guys that probably aren't in their fourth year. So that's good for him, at least, to kind of maybe to help show out a little bit. He's switched positions a little bit. Nate Thomas, not bad, honestly. He's just got to stay healthy, because if he's healthy, he's probably a third or fourth round pick. So that's what he's got to do. Is just kind of stay healthy and keep learning and show his versatility, because he can do different positions there. He's played mostly tackle. They were having him play some at guard. So that's always tough. And it's the same with BB moving inside as well. You asked about, let's go. I saw a couple drills with him. He's got some issues. Sometimes they're, I think, the knock on him is big guy, lumbering guy, can be a little stiff. He's got he hasn't played a lot of football. He's just got to go out there and play. He's got to keep those shoulders right. But good question. And those are some of the guys that are going to be playing in the preseason game for sure. All right, we got Rob in Jersey.
Yep.
What's up, Rob?
Hey, how you doing, Nick?
I'm good.
How you doing, Nick?
Good.
Okay. Hey, look, just to piggyback a little bit off of earlier, just talking about Super Bowl of bust, or why we love the game. I mean, I've seen 4 of the 5 Super Bowls, and I can tell you that back in the 70s, we didn't have podcasts. We didn't have StoryLine. We didn't have Talking Cowboys, The Break. We didn't have all this access to the Cowboys.
Make shots.
I think it's wonderful. And I think it's wonderful that we're able to even have this to enjoy the Cowboys. So when I say I look forward to preseason, and I hate it when we lose in the regular season or in postseason, yeah, I get emotional, but it's a part of the game. But all the things that we have that have access to in order to enjoy the game, we didn't have before as fans growing up back in the 70s. Okay, and I just think it's wonderful what the Dallas Cowboys have made available to us as fans to be able to just enjoy the game. And I mean, I wish I could be there right now in training camp.
Yeah.
Just to see it live. Just to be able to experience it all. But the point is that we're having access to a team and understanding the team before it gets started, and that's what's exciting about it. And if they lose, well, you know what? They did their best. But that's what being a Cowboys fan is all about.
Right.
We look forward to it. But that's just my take on the talk about Super Bowl of bust.
Yeah. Well.
But my quick question is this, and it's more so a coach's question. Now that I'm Al Davis's assistant head coach, I don't know if the rule. I mean, the job description has changed as far as assistant coach is concerned. But what really is his role now, other than replacing Mike if he's not there?
And I don't even know if that happens. Honestly, that doesn't always happen.
Is that more of a Derek question?
Well, I'm just, the assistant head coach it's not the vice president. Okay, you don't just take over necessarily when that happens. It would probably be a coordinator. If a few years ago, I think, didn't Mike have COVID in New Orleans and Dan Quinn took over? I mean, it's going to be a play caller like that for one of the coordinators. But Al Harris, though, I mean, and McCarthy said that it is different. It's not just a title change. But it was one of those where, he was up for maybe being a defensive coordinator. He didn't get that job, but still, out of respect for him, and the players love him, he probably did get a little salary bump as well, and he's very well respected here with the players and the staff. So I can't tell you everything that happens when a guy gets assistant head coach and what you have to do there. There's probably some other duties. They didn't detail what they are. I would imagine it's more of a title. It's probably more of a bump, and to show, hey, you're doing a great job, and your day will come here, as to be a coordinator, and maybe even more than that. So.
All right, understood. All right, enjoy yourself.
Thanks, Rob.
Okay.
To piggyback on what he said, the first part, which is also kind of puts a bow on the show about how to be a fan and all that, and there are no answers there. It's Michael from Colton, California, kicked us off like he usually does, and he said he's tired of seeing these playoff losses, and regular season doesn't matter, and I get the frustration and not telling anybody how to be a fan, but we all know that it does. We all know that the regular season matters, and if you learned anything from me on just who I am, not that I'm teaching a class here, I'm just saying you learned on how I'm built is, yes, the regular season matters. Let's focus on practice here. And then there's another one. And then the Rams come in on Thursday, and we're going to practice against the Rams, and it's going to look like a fight. And then they're going to play on Sunday. You're going to play on Sunday, and then we're going to have a few days off, and then we'll play, the Raiders in Vegas. Never been to Vegas to watch a game before. I mean, that's what I do. That's how I do this. So this whole day-by-day stuff, yes, that's what gets you through. I know it's a really cool sport to watch in the Olympics, the pole vault, but that's not what we do. You don't pole vault over things like that. They happen for a reason, and if you're sitting here thinking, how's this team going to match up in the playoffs, they may not make it. They may not make it. This year is going to be different. I think every game is going to be a little bit tougher than it was. I think the division's going to be tougher. I mean, these teams got better around them. And right now the Cowboys don't look like they've gotten better. It's hard to see how that is. You got an all-pro receiver not here. You got some key players that are on other teams. You had a player that you're hoping that would make the leap this year is out for the season. So right now it's going to be a grind. And so, I just don't look ahead like that, because I think we'll all be disappointed if that's the case. But again, that's how I look at it. You guys look at it differently. It's all good. It's all good. Of all these callers we had, I think we had 11 today. Everyone sees it a little bit different. That's what we are. That's life. That's what happens. We see the same thing. You know what? Some people think it's hot. Some people think it's cold right now. It's a little bit different. But I will say this: it is time for us to go. That is not really up for debate. It's time for us to go. Cowboys break is going to be happening right now, so join them. But we will see you guys back on Wednesday. It's going to be media party Tuesday night, so it should be fun to get up early on Wednesday and do a show with you guys. All right, for Chris Beam, I'm Nick Eatman, and we'll see you on Wednesday on Cowboys Storyline.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!